Hello everyone and welcome back. It's another Figure Friday and this is a newer figure. We have Vel Sartha. Not exactly certain what the character is. I think it's from Andor. It's from the Andor series. In an era filled with danger, deception, and intrigue, Cassian Andor embarks on a path that will turn him into a rebel hero who will challenge the evil Galactic Empire. So yes, this is from Andor, which I kind of thought it was, but I wasn't certain, the actual character here. And of course, it is a closed box, so we don't get to see the actual figure inside. I know that's a complaint of many of the collectors, because there are a lot of people, not me, but there's a lot of people that they will buy this and they will leave it in the box so that way it's pristine. Unfortunately, I'm still so much of a child. I've got to be able to, there's something about feeling a figure and being able to play with it at least once. So I'm the eternal child here. Okay, so you look in there and there's not much in there. Everything's just kind of, this is their little, we're saving the environment thing, which I don't know if they really are or not. Okay, so I'm going to guess that's our AK-47, which is funny because that's exactly what it is, looking at it. And here we are with our cardboard here. Tell you what, let me do this. Put that back there. So, see what kind of bells and whistles we have with our AK-47. So the funny thing is now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, we could use this thing for G.I. Joe, for Star Wars, for whatever. Because this just looks like an AK-47 to me. Actually, the front's pushed in. I'm wondering if the front pulls out or not. I'm thinking it doesn't. But this kind of collapses, which is kind of neat. And then it came unhinged there. So you can put it underneath there, you can grab it. But, okay, then the next question is, does the magazine come out? Nope. Magazine stays in there. This stays in. It looks like it should come out, so maybe it will. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we have a completely collapsible rifle if you wanted to. You can make it look like it's a short version or a longer rifle, however you want to do it, I guess. Kind of an interesting kind of take on it. No big deal. It's just that on mine, now if you pick this up, just be careful right in here because mine's already kind of come apart a little bit. So I do want you to be aware of that. And this doesn't really want to sit on top there with the bolt action here. To pull it back and get her all loaded up. Alright, otherwise, here's our AK-47. So we have our Star Wars AK-47. Honestly, with the Andor, I know it got a lot of good reviews. I didn't think it was bad. It was slow. It was very slow at how it was telling things. I really miss, and it's sad because I'm watching Deep Space Nine right now, so, if you want to heckle me for it, because I'm talking about Star Wars and I'm watching Star Trek. But Star Trek had really gone into doing all character driven, which is what Andor and Obi-Wan and all that was really trying to do. And it's great. But unfortunately, I think they really need to go back and see how Star Trek did it. If you want to watch anime, Ghost in the Shell, Cowboy Bebop, stuff like that. Ghost in the Shell is really nice to me because, you have this, each season had a long arc. So you were on a certain mission trying to get a certain story told, but every once in a while they would step away, but you would hear in the background some stuff. So keeping that in mind. Okay, so looking at the figure itself, you could use this figure for Star Wars or G.I. Joe or whatever. She has a very kind of generic look to her. So in that regard, either way, we see like an undershirt here. She's got her leather jacket here, some gloves, some sort of watch, chronometer, however you want to term it, and some black pants. So she would fit either way, in either area. But we have our classic ankles, so she can kind of move her foot around however you want to try and get her to pose. And she's got a single knee, so we don't have the double knee, we only have a single knee, so she's only going to go that far, so she can't, unlike some of the other ones where you can really kind of get that up there. Let's see, I'm trying to get her to like she's about to do a nice martial arts kick or something like that. So we have someone sitting here and she's about to just whomp them. Okay, let's see, we do have, okay, we have a single knee joint, but it does twist right there, so we have that. This doesn't twist, there's no twist below the knee, and right here at the thigh it twists. So if you're looking at that, usually when we're doing a figure, we're doing them more the men, and they have the bigger legs, and I think that allows them to throw some extra joints in there compared to what she has. Not saying that they couldn't do a double knee, but they just chose not to on this one. So, and then when we look at the wrist, she's got her jacket, so her hand goes a little bit back and forth, but not a lot. And it's a smaller hand. It's being a smaller stature here. And we have the elbow, and that's a single elbow. And then that's it. There's no extra twist here except for on the shoulder. And she's only got a single shoulder. It doesn't have the double one. So she is a more basic figure in comparison to some of the others. She would work very well as like an extra or something if you wanted her to be an extra, which is something I've kind of thought of. We haven't used these figures for doing role-playing games yet, but if you wanted to have extra figures, maybe having a couple generic-ish characters that you could throw out there, that would work out really well. I'm thinking that I might just leave that up there like this. How hard is it to get her weapon in her hand here? Okay, and I did a horrible job at that. Alright, well that's just ducky. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so on the underside, you can see where the fingers are just struggling to grip that because it's a little on the bigger side for her hand. And she's got more of the basic, standard figure. She doesn't have the double elbow or a double knee, so when you're trying to get her to stand, I miss having the little platforms that they would stand on. That was always kind of nice. And when we look at the head, the neck doesn't have a lot of move to it. The hair's got the piece that likes to sit over the shoulder, which is fine. Gonna try and do like a Terminator. She's just kind of sitting there shooting away, right? Okay, but yeah, we got her standing good. It's not a bad figure. It really isn't. It's a newer figure. It's not a bad figure. It's just that it's got more of the basic joints here. So trying to do some of the extra poses, you're not going to be able to do that. But all in all, it's not a bad figure. It's just kind of hate to say it, it's kind of on the plain side. Is it really worth the standard price? Maybe not. I found it. I thought it's okay. Well, we have something different here. Let's get it. We can see what it looks like, and we'll go from there. But yeah, you can't. So, like I said, for a standard price, I don't know if it's really worth it. I think if you could find this one on sale or clearance or something like that, sure. I might have to kind of keep an eye on that for the next one or whatever. And usually I try to pick stuff up more on sale or clearance if I can. It saves some money. These aren't the $2 to $3 that they once were way back in the 80s when I'm looking at some of the other figures and vehicles and everything else for like G.I. Joe and all that. And they were all priced relatively the same, so it wasn't a big change in price. They're trying to sell it to us as adults. I can't see a lot of parents buying figures like this at $25 for a kid. I have a harder time seeing that. So it is kind of a plain figure. It's not saying it's a bad figure, but it's just kind of plain. It just doesn't feel like you get a lot of the extra. I mean, we do have the torso movements and all that. She can sit if we actually get some more vehicles or find other vehicles, as of which when I was out and about today looking around, there was a younger kids kind of truck set, and they had like an ambulance, a fire truck, and a garbage truck and a dump truck and all that. It looks like it would be a little off, but pretty close to the right scale. The only thing is you may have to modify the insides in order to get the figures in there. They weren't that expensive. I want to say they're like $20 or $25 a piece, and you have like the ambulance was about like this. So for a figure like this, I think it would work. I didn't pick it up. I was just kind of looking at it and thinking about it, but we may have to pick up one and see how well it works and what we may or may not have to do. But as far as this figure goes, it's not bad. It's just, like I said, it's just kind of plain. Works. I think this would work really well as a figure for someone you have to rescue or something else. Not saying you couldn't throw it in, like I said, the G.I. Joe, keep it in Star Wars or some other. If you wanted to do Marvel or something like that, it could be a character that needs to be rescued there or something too. And keep in mind, WWE figures are 6 inches as well. So they do have some vehicles there. If you can find ones that are like normally a standard clothing instead of being bare chested, unless you want you guys to be bare chested and just ready to throw down and fist to cuff with a stormtrooper or something. But it's just those options, and here we are. With that, thanks for stopping by. Hope you have a wonderful Friday. We'll see you in the next video.